Welcome to episode 1, everyone. This is the first ever episode of many on the platform. If you want to understand more about disease buzz, please watch the video on the Introduction to Disease Buzz, your go-to medical education platform. So today we're diving into the complex world of disease causation. You know that feeling, right? Something feels off, so you go to WebMD and start going down a rabbit hole of possibilities. Well, today we're stepping back to look at the bigger picture. From genetics to lifestyle choices, we'll explore the multifactorial nature of what makes us sick. Because believe me, it's rarely just one thing, it's usually an intricate web of factors that contribute to our health. Understanding these factors is not about freaking out, it's about empowering ourselves. So let's unravel this mystery together and get you guys feeling your best. Let's start with the foundation, the blueprint of you, your genes. We all inherit a unique set of genes from our parents, and these genes essentially provide the instructions for our bodies to function. Now, within these instructions, there can be tiny variations, and sometimes these variations can influence our susceptibility to certain conditions. Think of it like this: you've got a recipe for awesome health, but maybe there's a slight variation in the ingredients list that makes you a little more likely to develop, say, certain types of cancer, cardiovascular diseases, or even some genetic disorders. It doesn't mean you're definitely going to get it, but it does mean you might want to pay a bit more attention to those areas of your health. Now, let's talk about the environment, because our surroundings play a huge role in our health too. Think about it, we're constantly exposed to stuff, right? Some of it's good, like fresh air and sunshine, but some of it, not so much. We're talking pollutants in the air we breathe, toxins in our water and food, even radiation from the sun, or, too many X-rays. Over time, exposure to these things can add up and contribute to the development of diseases. For example, we know that air pollution can really worsen respiratory conditions like asthma, and exposure to certain chemicals called carcinogens can actually increase your risk of cancer. It's a good reminder to be mindful of the environment and how we can minimize our exposure to these harmful factors. Okay, this is a big one. And it's something we have a lot of control over, which is empowering our lifestyle choices, those everyday decisions we make. They can have a huge impact on our health. We're talking about the food we eat, how much we move our bodies, whether we smoke, how much alcohol we drink, even if we're getting enough sleep. You know the drill. These choices, they add up over time. So if we're consistently making unhealthy choices, it's like we're slowly chipping away at our health. Think about it, a diet full of processed foods, sugary drinks, and not enough fruits and veggies. That's a recipe for obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, even certain cancers. And don't even get me started on smoking. It's one of the worst things you can do to your body. But the good news is, by making healthier choices, we can significantly reduce our risk of developing these conditions. Now let's talk about those tiny invaders that can wreak havoc on our bodies, infectious agents. These are things like bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. These little guys are everywhere, and most of the time our immune systems do a fantastic job of fighting them off, but sometimes they manage to slip through the cracks and cause infection. We've all been there, right? The common cold, the flu. These are examples of infections caused by viruses. But then there are more serious infectious diseases like tuberculosis, HIV, AIDS, and malaria, which can be life-threatening. The good news is we've come a long way in terms of preventing and treating infectious diseases thanks to things like vaccines, antibiotics, and antiviral medications. Our immune system is usually our best defense against disease, but sometimes it can get a little confused and actually start attacking our own body. We call these autoimmune diseases, and they happen when the immune system mistakenly identifies our own tissues as foreign invaders and launches an attack. It's like your immune system is fighting a phantom enemy, and unfortunately, this friendly fire can lead to some serious health problems. Conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and multiple sclerosis, these are all examples of autoimmune diseases. And while we don't know exactly what causes the immune system to go rogue like this, we do know that genetics, environmental factors, and even infections can play a role. Now, this one's kind of a fact of life, isn't it? As we get older, our bodies change, and unfortunately this means our risk for certain diseases can also increase. It's like that saying, Father Time catches up with us all, right? For example, the risk of developing certain cancers, osteoporosis and heart disease, it all tends to go up as we age. And it's not just about the number of candles on our birthday cake. Our biological sex can also influence our susceptibility to certain conditions. For instance, women are generally at a higher risk of developing autoimmune disorders, while men are more prone to heart disease at an earlier age. We often think of our mental and physical health as separate entities, but the reality is they're deeply intertwined. Our mental well-being can have a profound impact on our physical health, and vice versa. Chronic stress, for example, it's not just bad for our mental state, it can wreak havoc on our bodies too. When we're constantly stressed, our bodies are flooded with hormones like cortisol, and over time, this can increase our risk for a whole host of problems, like heart disease, anxiety, depression, even digestive issues. And it's not just stress. Social isolation and loneliness have also been linked to poorer health outcomes. Our jobs are a huge part of our lives. But unfortunately, some occupations come with hidden health risks. I'm talking about exposure to hazardous substances, physically demanding work, or even just really stressful work environments. These factors can take a toll on our bodies over time and contribute to what we call occupational diseases. For example, construction workers are at a higher risk of developing lung diseases like silicosis and asbestosis due to exposure to dust and fibers on the job. People in physically demanding jobs like nurses or firefighters might be more prone to musculoskeletal injuries. And let's not forget about the mental toll that high-stress jobs can have. So, there you have it, a glimpse into the complex world of disease causation. Understanding these diverse factors is crucial for developing effective prevention strategies and personalized treatments. Let's unpack all these factors in the upcoming episodes. Remember, a holistic approach to healthcare is key. That means taking care of your physical health, your mental health, and being mindful of your environment. Stay informed, stay healthy, and see you next time.